Today, we're exploring the powerful teachings of Abraham and the concept of Christ consciousness. Let's dive into how these time-honored perspectives can illuminate and provide guidance. Greetings, everyone. It's Carrie, and once again, we're going to be doing our Let's Ask Abraham series of questions and seeing where universal truth is lining up with what Abraham says. And in this case, we're going to add the Christ consciousness deck with this particular episode. I'm really excited. I've been playing with this the last couple of days and it's been astounding. First, I'll use tarot or oracle cards, mindfulness decks, meditative type concepts, and then I add a card from our teachings of Abraham card decks, whatever feels intuitively like the right deck to go to, and it never fails. So, you ready to play? All right, let's give it a shot. Let's see where, first let's just bring in Christ consciousness. And Abraham too, and let's just have a council meeting among us. We're all sitting at this table and we're going to be asking our questions, and I would like to see where we might be led today. As you know, I love using dice. I feel like when I do that, it just impacts my ability to intuitively glean more wisdom when I find myself guided into a certain segment or aspect of our life that is just easier for me to focus. So I don't know if you can see the dice. We're going up into the relationship realm, and we are going to either the future new, we've done that one before, or nostalgia past memories. Or future new, nope, we're not doing that, we're nostalgia. That feels good because we're in this transitional period between seasons now. We're kind of going from, at the time of this recording, the summer to the autumn. And so it's an interesting shift, right? And this can be happening at any of the different times of the year where we're just shifting our seasons. What about just life shifting for you? And just between jobs, or perhaps relationships are changing and transforming. So these different seasons in our lives are helping us to continue to grow, to release and to rest, and then go back forward some more to integrate and produce more new experiences, new creativity. We're out in the toolbox of our lives where whatever's happening for us, the nostalgia, the past memories, those are tools for us to use because it gives us that contrast. And Abraham talks about that all the time. We need contrast because that helps us define what is really more meaningful and the direction that we want to go. It helps us to understand this, not that, or that. Can we create something even better from what is right now? But what about when the past has impacted how you are right here in the now? Let's ask the Christ consciousness deck for some wisdom on how to see that part of our lives, because a lot of times you can go back into the past and you wallow, and that's not helpful. The grieving that we can be caught up in, they did me wrong, or I really blew it and I am so guilt-ridden, or I am just struggling. I'm going to ask for some wisdom. What do we do when we're contending with nostalgia, our relationship with nostalgia and memories? What is a proper relationship for us? Okay, let's see. Okay, Christ, thank you for coming and sharing your wisdom with us. Joseph of Arimathea, trailblaze and innovate. Ooh, Okay. So when you're in the nostalgia moments of your life, let's see what the book says, because I got some ideas, but I really want to see if there's anything more that can be said. Joseph of Arimathea and his energy around you right now is important. He was rich, a member of the ruling council. Ooh, so he's in part of our council right now. Yeah. And he as well as a secret disciple of Jesus. Yeah, he's the one that asked to be able to take Jesus's body down from the cross and actually wrapped him in the linens and then laid him to rest in the garden tomb. So he had a lot of wealth and access to powerful agencies who could help him do things ordinary people would not normally be able to do legally and all. He had connections and relationships. So the nostalgia or the past memory, what he's created, has helped him to then, in the moment of the followers of Jesus, they had a bit of a crisis. And they did not obviously want to see his body just dumped into the mass grave, the criminals and such. Interesting. Currently, Joseph's life and energy are calling you to fresh pastures, to tread new ground, possibly to travel physically or in your mind, to plant fertile seeds, or to be the first to do or say something. This is great. So with nostalgia and past memories, let's say they're haunting you, this is a perfect card to remind you that you have resources, you have connections, and if you decide to create, even from a spiritual realm, the next best step would be probably something fairly practical, such as, I can't abide this situation, but what I can do is to ease some of the suffering of my own heart by, and you would fill in the blank with connecting with others, asking for assistance, and receiving some kind of support. And I have recently done that with the angels. Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. It's like, okay, Kyle Gray always says, to ask the angels, and I always thought I did. But in this situation of feeling very overwhelmed by, it's a role that I'm playing in a season of my life. So I am doing this as an honor to a loved one and doing the best I can. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of things on top of my own life and everything that I've been through the last few years. So I really was on my knees asking for help from my angels, from my spirit team. And I tell you, this week has turned into a completely different type of week, in that I have more clarity of where I'm going and what I'm doing, as well as things just started to happen more easily, more in flow. And I'm not feeling as exhausted anymore. So I'm going to really encourage you to go by faith as Joseph of Arimathea did, and to move forward into some kind of practical, trailblazing answer to the nostalgia that past memories can sometimes create as you're maybe grieving or suffering the guilt, the blame, the shames. Yeah, it's all so typical of our walk on earth that other people's opinions, even our own opinions of ourselves, may or may not be the reality of what really did happen, but you may be being crucified. You could be in that situation. There may be a part of you that needs to save yourself and to use the Christ energy to be able to do that for yourself, to come and be your savior and come through in the ways that you can find new answers, new pathways that help you to rise out of the tomb, so to speak, the prison of your old past. That is gone. It's ended. and I'll call that death, but it's the end of an era, of a season in your life. And what I love about the Christ message of Easter and such is that the past can be buried and gone, but out of that is a soul that is eternal, that rises up and has a whole other message. I love that also, like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Similar mythologies of stories that help us to go, you know what? I can be down, I can be counted out, but it's not over, not on an eternal level at all. So it supports me in knowing that I am a child of the Most High, divine, infinite, good, benevolent, loving, grace-giving Creator. And no matter how I might feel or think about or believe about myself or about the world, there is something far more lovely, like how this branch, this staff, actually created some flowers. I'm going to think that's probably a miraculous thing right there. Let me just see if there's something in there that she's talking about. Yes, she's going, we all make our mark upon this earth. We all plant staffs to a degree, whether it is through our children, our family, creative endeavors, projects, or memories. So essentially, planting your staff on this earth and saying, I am here for a very strong, lovely, worthy purpose. My life matters. And doing that allows sparks of creativity. How is it that every spring, out of the most, appears to be the most dead landscape possible in the winter, that spring starts to spring forth these little shoots, the green and the florals, and things start to come back to life, the budding of the branches of the trees. It's like it's peeking out. And it's like none of us can do that. It's source, it's the cosmos. That is part of our journey as well. We are part of that, and how that all comes together and springs forth out of us is a miraculous co-creative endeavor. So when we're connected to source, this is amazing. What a great card. I love this. In summary, what she's talking about is to allow Joseph to help you with life's transitions as the shepherd who knows where you need to be, what needs attending to, and offers practical help guiding you and making sure no stone is left unturned. Your new life awaits. Plant the seeds now for your future that is already assured. All right, I love this. Seasons changing, even though we're going from summer to autumn. This is the harvesting time at this point of this one, but you could catch this in the spring and you could be going, okay, we had a long rest for winter and now it's time to feel the energies to rise up and to bring new growth. But now in this other autumn time, this is going to be, we've already seen the fruits of all that springing forth, and now we're really enjoying our harvest times where we harvest the fruits and to get us through the long hard winters. So I love this. So nostalgia past. So wherever you're at in the transition between what was, what is now, and what is ahead of you, having a vision, being aligned. Those are the things I'm getting out of this card and this message right now. I am going to see what Abraham wants to weigh in. Give me a moment. I am being guided to bring the well-being cards out. So let's take a look at the well-being cards when we're in transition, where we're contending with things that are giving us pause. And maybe it's great. Maybe it's all about the great ideas, nostalgia, memories. Sometimes that can hold us back from moving forward also. So where are you able to trailblaze? Create something or facilitate something, cultivate something from the moment of now. even though the nostalgia is drawing very much a lot of your focus and power, how can we deal with the nostalgia, past memories, and trailblaze at the same time? How weird. This one is, I'm going to keep it in this reading. Let's just see. This is just the title and the information, but I just, I normally pull these out. I saw that, and as I was going through shuffling, I'm going, just leave it in. Let's see what happens. So the card deck, it talks about Jerry and Esther. Dear friends, words of new perspectives, words of an enlightening perspective, words that were once known but somehow forgotten. That's what these well-being cards are all about. Words don't teach, life experience teaches. But with these Abraham Hicks words fresh in your mind, your every life experience will now be more meaningful to you. And since nothing is more important than feeling good, nothing is more valuable than these processes that will allow more of your natural well-being to flow. Have fun with these cards. Let these words inspire thoughts that will attract to you more of that which evokes your greatest joy. From our hearts, Jerry and Esther Hicks. I'm loving this. Look at this. Look at this. No matter what, where life takes you. And just like Joseph of Arimathea, he meets Jesus. He's learning from Jesus. They're good friends, but they kind of have to keep it on the low because there's some controversy amongst the elite councils and the powers that be in the culture and governments. So they managed to keep a good relationship. Remember, we're in the relationship arena. We're talking about nostalgia past and how you move forward, how you trailblaze. And I am going to just say that this is exactly what I'm finding the journey of using these card decks from Abraham to zero in, just really steep into my own life, to integrate the wisdom, which I've always thought was very profound. But what's interesting as we've been doing this series is the more I hear it, the more I see it, the more I'm lining up and seeing how it plays out in the various arenas. And I'm able at that point to trust it, trust that joy really is really the goal, which in the past it kind of felt like, well, maybe joy is kind of an indulgence. Maybe it's a byproduct of doing the work, of proving myself and dealing with things properly and to have the right mindset. It's just simply really more about rejoice. Again, I say rejoice, which is very much a Christ message as well in the New Testament. It's fabulous to see the two come together, and just saying that the words are one thing, but the perspectives and the way they're integrating and integrated together into a wholeness of saying, let's be joyful. Let's find the positivity. Let's allow the nostalgia to help teach us. But we don't want to be drugged back to that time point and be imprisoned there, to be entombed there. We want to rise up and come out of that. So whether it's hibernating or coming through something that once really was a hard stop in your life. I'm dealing with the passing of a loved one. So this seems really to be part of it too. What once was, now is something new again as I'm working through the estate, probate, and all that. It really is the way we cycle through life. We have our seasons and cycles, a lifetime of our parents or grandparents or other loved ones, our ancestors, and our future generations. So our lifetime is going to have most likely an expiration date. And how our legacy moves forward, what we build right now. So where's the trailblazing that you're doing? I know for me and many others who follow me, we are breaking generational karmic patterns. We are creating more and better for our loved ones so that their lives can go forward with more understanding of personal power, responsibility, the love that the universe has for them and for each of us, and the respect and the gratitude that that awareness can offer for all of us. Because when we all realize that life is for us, what could be really against us? Death has no power, and we have our chance at every moment, from the past to the present, to build a new future. And that's what these well-being cards, teaching of Abraham's law of attraction, the Christ consciousness message is that there's life after a hard stop of the nostalgia and the old memories. Look for ways to move forward into something now, something new, something you want to co-create and to see differently. Ask your angels, ask Christ consciousness, ask Abraham. It doesn't matter where you're going. It all comes together and supports you. So, I love this. Let me know what you're thinking, how this is touching you. And if you have questions, obviously, I'm thrilled to answer those. And I'm also thrilled to hear your journey, your stories, and how you can find ways to move beyond the painful past into a bright, shining future. Namaste. Have a great, blessed day. And until next time, thanks for all those love, likes, shares, and, of course, comments. Subscribe too, please. Thank you. Really helps the channel.